Hello everybody and welcome, Rich here, and today sees the launch of the new season in Rainbow Six Siege, Operation Steel Wave. For those of you that are not fortunate enough to have access to the test server, today will be the first time you can get hands-on with the two new operators, Ace and Melusi. And of course, these two new operators bring along with them some very interesting gadgets, all of which I have covered in previous videos, and they will be linked in the description down below. So if you haven't seen those, do take a minute just to go and check those out. But the other priority of this video was to bring you the update on the patch notes. This is the addendum for Year 5 Season 2. Of course, the test server for Steel Wave has been running for some time now, and the feedback that they've received from that test server has forced them to make some interesting changes. Now, as always, I will leave a link in the description down below if you do want to read through the full patch notes yourself, but we'll go through some of the key points here. So first of all, during the Steel Wave test server period, they received a number of feedback requests for balancing tweaks to the new operators, which I guess is not very surprising. There's always going to be feedback asking you to tweak the new operators with any season, regardless of who or what those operators can do. And after evaluating the feedback from players, the data from the test server, they plan to make a few balancing changes to the new operators with this 2.1 patch. Firstly, looking at Melusi, they will be lowering the penalty zone by approximately 33% and also lowering the sound of the Banshee effect in first person POV. Now that I think is very interesting, and those of you that have played on the test server, do let me know what you think about that. Obviously, to the people that haven't, this is just going to be the default to you. Really interested to see your guys' feedback on this. 33% is a very considerable number. This next one is also very interesting and affects our new operator Ace and also Hibana, and they're removing the possibility of destroying bandits' batteries through reinforcements by placing the charges on the floor. Now, I'm sure most of you have seen videos covering this. If you place one of these charges on the floor rather than on the actual reinforced wall itself, if it's close enough to the wall on the floor, it will destroy bandits' batteries, which I guess you can say is a kind of an exploit, but in reality, it would still have the same effect. So I'm not too sure about on the effects of removing that personally. Again, do guys let me know what you think about that. Now, during the launch of the test server, Melusi actually came with a deployable shield, and for this patch they're going to be replacing that with C4. The ACS-12 is actually getting a bit of a buff, and they're increasing the damage up to 59 from 41 and increase the ADS speed, and they will also be increasing the RPM to 300. So that is quite a considerable buff to the ACS-12 there. Next up, a quick look at some updates, and first of all is recruit, and all recruits will now have the ACOG. So that is who's been stealing them all by the looks of it. For those of you that are playing in France and are French speaking, the French localized audio for Ace and Melusi will be available in French at launch. Attachment system updates allow for attachment skins and simpler loadout balancing. Some interesting changes to the metal detectors on bank, canal and border obviously, and it will now play a short 3-second alarm before stopping. Only one alarm can be played at a time, and there is no cooling down on the alarm trigger. And of course, the issue where alarm cooldowns meant that players could cross metal detector barriers multiple times without an alarm sounding is obviously going to be a big advantage or disadvantage depending on what way you're looking at it. And lastly, again, for those of you that have played on the test server in-house, they've added a top window blocker and bars to the wall facing the treehouse to allow players to shoot through, but players will not be able to rappel in that window. Now, along with these addendums, there are a big list of bug fixes, and again, I'm not going to go through those here because there are quite a few, but if you do want to read those, I will link it in the description down below. But for now, thanks a lot for watching everybody. I do hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're all looking forward to getting hands-on with Operation Steel Wave, and until next time, goodbye.